So I haven't got any slides, this is one I made earlier, and they just introduced me. So if you don't know me, I'm Tim from the Site Doctor, and we build Avenue Clothing with Soren, and we also do crisis cover. And today I'm going to talk about this one down here, which is trending. So I don't know about you guys, but our clients for the last sort of couple of years, they've been asking us for reporting. They want statistics, they want data on their orders, they want people to know what their customers are doing when they get to the site. So the idea behind Trendsy was to avoid the problems of having to write a custom query every time somebody asks how many orders do I have, so who's my top customer, who's spending the most money, that sort of thing, which is my best selling product, all these sort of things. So Trendsy was actually developed for an EPOS system, and then we brought that into uCommerce because we felt that the reporting through uCommerce was a little bit insufficient. So I'm going to give you a bit of a demo today because, as I say, we weren't aware of what was going on, but here we go. So what I've got here, I think you might know this one, is an Avenue Clothing install. Oh, you're on a different screen, let me try and bring you across. There we go. So we've got Avenue Clothing. I don't know how many people are using this, but if you are, great. Yeah, let me know any problems with it and we'll ignore them and then laugh if you have more problems. There's nothing special about this. That's the first thing to understand. It's literally, we've just downloaded it, we've installed it, and we're good to go. So what we've done is in the back end, we've extended it using the standard Umbrico and uCommerce extensions, and we've added this new little node here called Trendsy Reporting. Now, if you speak to me afterwards, we can give you this to you today. It's not packaged up, it's a little bit rough and ready, there is a bit of SQL you have to run to install it, but it gives you what I'm about to demo now. So the first thing we've done is we've brought in customer statistics, order statistics, and shopping cart statistics. So we're trying to get some of the data out of the data that you've got in uCommerce already. The top level stuff that people sort of say, I want to know this right now. So quite simply, you specify which date you want. So 2010 or 2012 rather. I'm hoping the demo gods are going to be kind today, but it looks like they're not. 2010, there we go. And this is all coming straight from your database. So there's nothing sort of talking external, it's just querying it sort of in HQL. So rather than using the API that comes with Umbrico, I don't know, who's done some uCommerce reporting before with the product? Has anybody tried it? No, okay. Okay, good. So the problem is that when you're dealing with small data, like with Avenue Clothing, 100, 200 orders, it's probably okay to get away with the API. But when you start getting bigger, you start having 10,000, 30,000, or one of our stores, 100,000 orders, then it starts to creak. It's really, really slow. So the answer to that is to go into what's underneath the hood in the API, which is HQL, which is NHibernate's way of querying the data. So that's what we've done with Trendsy. We've taken all the data and all the queries are written in nice, neat, pretty HQL, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to see it, so you just have to leave it. So it's really, really basic. I mean, it's designed this way because the type of customers we've got don't really understand data. I don't know about you, but I mean, they understand how much money have I made, they understand how many customers they've got, they don't really want to know all the nitty-gritty. So on this level, it's all just pretty charts, and when there's enough data, I'm going to find some data now, to tell you the down before, let's try and find some shopping cart data. There we go, that's what the problem is, 2010. Let's update the charts. Find some data. I should have really checked which days have data, shouldn't I, before I came in. You'll see at the bottom down here, you get a breakdown of the table, so you get the graph to be able to sort of have a look, something pretty to look at the data. But the really powerful thing with Trendsy is that in the background we've got this new bar that's set up here. And the idea is rather than just trying to analyse all the data on your server with your uCommerce install, it's great, apart from when you've got sort of 10, 15 sort of customers trying to do it at the same time, it starts to slow down. We built another system which is external, which is Trendsy Reporting, hooks completely into uCommerce, it's been completely customised for uCommerce, and this gives you a little bit more extra information. So you can have a nice pretty map of where your customers are. You can have it, there's a heat map in there, there's size group. So does anybody deal with size groups at all? So small, medium, large, extra large on their products? Or colours maybe, red, green, blue? So the variants, a lot of the time when retailers buy, we find that retailers don't know how they're going to be buying the data, or whether they're going to be buying their product. So they're buying blind, finger in the air. It's sort of like, last year I had 47 reds, so this year I'm going to buy 50 because that was a really good selling product. The problem is that it's not based on any sort of data, so you end up with end of season sales. I've got 600 small items or 600 large items, but nothing on the medium. So they send around an email to everybody saying, hey, we've got a sale on, and everybody comes on, but everybody's medium. this isn't any good because I've got no small and I've got no large. I don't want either those, I want medium. So what TrendSeam does is it's pretty advanced segmentation of that data. So any data that you put into uCommerce, we're going to segment that data effectively in real time and then give your guys insights into the customers, both on buying and also marketing. So it's really simple, and it's designed just to be 3 clicks. And I think it's down to 3 clicks unless I can't count anymore. And this is where it's going to break. I guarantee it now. Here we are. Good start to breaking. Okay, so starts off little introduction to what it does. And it's going to pull out the data from your Umbraco install. So this is coming from Umbraco, not uCommerce at this point, because it's all about the users. So the login data, the email addresses, we try and sort of help out the sign-up process. So I'm just going to do a new name, because I know I've used that one. Right now, with our house, aren't we? Our house. Let's see how much I'm going to lose. Is it focused? There we go. Probably the wrong password. Yep. And so does anybody want to type my password for me? Might work better.
Try the other one.
Yeah, I was going to say. See, I always say you should only have one password field, once you're going to get tiresome, isn't it? Let's do them both again. I'll do the test, that's got to be. 6 characters long. There you go, testing. Get there in the end. It's bulletproof security, by the way. Especially during demos. So, what we've done in the background now, between those 2 clicks, is we've installed TrendSeam so that there's a new pipeline. So every time an order comes through, we're sending the data over to TrendSeam. That's been aggregated down into one system. So then when your customers want to come and get a bit more insights into their customers, they can just log into their uCommerce install, type in their login details for TrendSeam, and straight away start getting some advanced statistics. Now, I don't know, this is going to be quite interesting to see how this is going to work locally, because I haven't tested this fully, because you shouldn't before a talk, obviously. Here we go. But straight away within TrendSeam, within uCommerce, sorry, you then get extra information. Nothing appears up here. This stays the same. So this is all your local data. But when you come to this TrendSeam reporting, it's now the TrendSeam database with the segmentation. So from within one area, okay, this is because we're on the local one. Within one area, if I can go onto the live, or the web, let's just go to. So this is going to be a live. I don't know if it's live data. That might be so wise. See if our broadband wasn't working earlier today, so I think it's going. But within your one login, we'll go back to this one because it's pretty. You'll be able to give people breakdowns of sales, locations. You'll be able to find customers by pretty much any metric you can think of. Duration between purchases, number of purchases, the distance from your store. So because we always have their postcode, we can actually look up their location from that data. The postcode look up at the moment, I should preface, only works in the UK because we just restricted because the amount of data we're already profiling, but we'll soon be rolling it out to be able to do basically anywhere around the world. There's no reason we can't do that. But again, you can go and then find customers within 5 miles of the store, for example, and give them a flash sale and say, sort of come into the store, buy online. You know, web's a bit funny because this is partly written for shops, physical stores who want to compete with their online store. So a couple of customers where they've got an online store and they've got an offline store, so a bricks and mortar store, they have problems because their boss is always sitting there saying, our website's doing better than our store. It's like, well, sorry, we're just good. We can't. So the solution to that is we give them TrendSeam and we try and encourage their online customers in store. So we say, show us anything that's around your store, and so give them a promotion for in-store. And it works really well. I'd like to give you a bit more of a demo of the actual back end, but our internet doesn't seem to be working because this still hasn't loaded up yet. But let's see if I can try another one quickly. So this is an order version. This is the one we've got up on the staging site at the moment is a release version. That one shouldn't have login problems. Let's try again. Yeah, there we go. The other thing to bear in mind with this is that, so I'm loading up a few things here, is that from your perspective, you want to make money. So what the way we set up TrendSeam is it's all it's all a margin sort of type system. So does anybody use MailChimp or Campaign Monitor for emails? Exactly the same as that. So every time somebody signs up, you can get a commission back, a bit of a kickback for signing them up. So then you can sort of set them all up under your account. Here we go. No, okay. It's not like me. Demo calls are not fair today. So I'm going to show you the order version of TrendSync. We've added a few more bells and whistles and we've tidied up some of the display, but it gives you an idea of the sort of data you can get out pretty quickly. And it's still not liking me. Was anybody here for the Avenue Clothing demo that I did a while ago that I did display? Yeah, so this is your dashboard, and basically what it shows you on the top level is it gives you a current month to date versus last year. So this customer has only been with us since September last year. We can load in historic data, we can load in data from all different sources as well. So I mean, you can fill in as many gaps as you want. But straight away, in one glance, they can see, am I doing better this year than I was last year? This month versus last month. So it's trying to sort of get the data to the customer as quickly as possible. It does a nice pretty graph. And the one that I wanted to get shown to you has about 8 or 9 years worth of data in here. So you get lots of different coloured graphs, which is quite fun. And customers, the thing is that customers like looking at this data. They don't phone us anymore. They just go and look at their graphs and they say, oh, I can print this out and give it to my boss and it looks good. But then you've got your, this is my favourite one, this heat map. I wasn't allowed to develop this, but I overruled the development programme anyways. It does a heat map of value of sales by area. Now, this is really important because a lot of stores have the impression that all their sales come from a very close area of where they come from. But as soon as you start selling on the web, you get really, really odd locations of orders. So what we find with quite a few retailers, not this one in particular, is that their store's down here, obviously, which is why it's so sort of concentrated here. But they've got a customer up here. Now, you may find that a large majority of the value of orders comes from that customer up there, so you've got to wonder why. Is that because I've got multiple customers that really like me there? Is it because I've got a very loyal customer? But you can identify these customers with TrendSync, pull them out and market them directly, so you get their details sort of straight away in the display. You also get a breakdown of day of week, which is another common thing that people get asked for. Now, with all these reports, we're trying to bring more and more stuff into uCommerce, but obviously we're going from nothing as far as uCommerce is concerned at the moment, so we're trying to get something out there. But it's all already available on TrendSync. This is a live running. Again, key averages, sort of how frequently do my customers purchase? How many of your customers send emails to their customers? Sort of once a month, once a week, once every 2 weeks, something like that? 2 weeks. So again, it's all finger in the air. They do it because it's what they've always done. Whereas this will actually say, on average, your customers are coming to you once every 2 months. You know, why email them every 2 weeks? Email them once a month, for example, or once every 6 weeks. Try and target people, segment people. It's all about segmentation of data and getting to the nitty-gritty bit. But then also you've got a breakdown of the product data and the customers. So you've got your best customer, your best selling product, and most profitable product. And again, we're just trying to think about all the queries that sort of we, as a team, have been asked, as well as there's another chap that's been building this with me, and he's been asked as well. So anytime somebody comes to us with a question, we're making a note of it now, we're just trying to work out how we can solve the problem. And again, this is another one of my favourite things. So if you don't understand variant data, then it's a little bit of a sort of, I don't get what's going on, but it's pretty. So just enjoy the process. Basically, this is the size data we're saying, where we get a lot of people buying very small or very large variations, or one of our national retailers, they always buy in the ratio of 1, 2 to 1 because it's what they've done for 25 years. The reality is that the demographic of people, they've got fatter. You know, so they should actually be buying in 1, I think it was 1, 1, 2, 3, because they've moved that far over. But because of that, they always end up with a lot of stock. So this quickly tells you that this one in small, medium, large, extra large, extra large, large is your most popular size. And you can see how few people are actually buying small for this customer. And this is actually live data, so this is stuff that's coming through right now. So you can see, I find it really interesting when you see that sort of thing. But then the most powerful part of TrendSync is the reporting engine. So I mean, there's so many views of data that what I say is, we'll give you all logins, just get in touch with me and we'll give you access. And then you can query it with your own data. But this is basically the power and where TrendSync started, which was the query engine. So remember earlier I was saying we can query on virtually every metric? These are the questions that you can ask your data at the moment. And they've been termed in ways that should be sensible to a retailer. So a retailer should understand things like this. It's a sales channel, online, offline. It's a fairly common term for them, so that's fine. Day of week, value of purchase, number of items purchased. And with all these, this is all driven off your data. There's nothing that isn't dynamic here. So if you sort of end up sort of down here, for example, with the variations, I've got brand, colour and department here. Let's say you're selling CDs and you've got, or you're selling music and you've got media types, so CDs or vinyl, whatever it might be. Again, that variant information will come down here as well. So you just select the questions you want to do. So I want to find anybody in 30 days, and anybody who's made at least 10 purchases, for example. And I want 10 purchases of Aestia. I don't know who that is, it's some brand they've got set up. In the background, when you click this button here, I'm not going to do it because this is somebody's report, it will go away and it will churn the data for you. It does take a few minutes. It's on a spool, it takes 5 minutes, it just comes around, because generally people don't want stuff instantly. Sometimes you're lucky and you catch it sort of on the 5 minutes, so it's an instant. The reports are really quick, we just done it because we can, basically. So if we go to this report quickly, and what that gives you at the other end is a list of segmented customers. So on this report, this one was actually for all the data they had on the 9th of August. We store every single report you do. So if you run a report today and you add another 1,000 customers that would be in that report or match this criteria, you can rerun the report, but we'll always remember the original report. So you can say, where was I sort of 6 months ago, where compared to now, you can do some comparative stuff. But once you've got the report, you can see the quality of your data, because again, this is another thing we realised, that many retailers don't understand how good their data is. You know, if I'm emailing people, this customer should email people with their first name, dear first name, or hi first name, because they've got a good old 90% of data there. Whereas they shouldn't send a text message, because they've only got 10% of people who have got a text message. And he's trying to make it really, really obvious and say, guys, this is what you should be doing with your data. And again, if the internet worked to get happier, then I could show you this inside uCommerce. But it's your data. So at every stage, we've tried to give you the access to the data for the client. Can I have it in CSV? Can I just have a list of it? Can I have whatever it is, any crazy request the client can come up with? And we've also tried to make it fun at each step as well. So where it makes sense, we add something like a map, so you can sort of click through and start to see your customers. But then, because the clients tend to want to actually do something with the data, we then built in an engine into the system which allows them to do that, just that. They can send text messages, they can send emails, they can download the data for MailChimp or Campaign Monitor if they want to sort of do that. But basically, we're trying to make it so that you can get the data out without you being asked, without you being bothered. Client can get on with their job and basically make you a bit more money. So sending a text message, although it's not wired up on this one, every text message they send, we're going to give you a commission, because obviously we're going to be billing them per text message as well. So you want to encourage them to be sending all these messages. Same with you. And I try to encourage everybody to do it as well. Longer term, and this is really down to sort of feedback from you guys, we want to bring more of this data into the uCommerce reporting engine. We know there are a few queries that are missing, but we also want to roll out sort of integration with the voucher codes. So one of our clients that's already using this is using, every time I've spent £500, I want to give my customers £25 back. So we built that for their EPOS system. We want to build it for uCommerce now as well. So you can set up a report that runs once a month and sends a gift voucher to everybody who's spent over £500. Automatically, there you go, there's your voucher. And obviously that then comes back into Trendsy, because then you can start saying who's used discount vouchers, who's used this particular type of voucher, and you start to put it through. So that's a really whistle-stop tour of Trendsy. Does anybody have any questions? Or answer? It can be about having your clothing if you want. No? I mean, does it look like it's going to answer some of the questions? I mean, if I go back to the integration that's semi-broken, irritatingly, here within uCommerce, is it the sort of questions that you guys are getting asked? You know, how many orders have we got here?
Yes. So exactly what we're looking for, what customers are looking for.
Great. I mean, this one, I mean, it's, as I say, it's basic. It's meant to be basic because we don't really know what you guys want at the moment. I mean, we're sort of finding a way. But that's good. That's a relief. It's taken us a while to do. And if you bug sorry enough, I think we might be able to sort of get this rolled out with version 4. So if we can just fix those packaging problems, then you can have it. But if you want it now and you're happy to have it played, then get in and give us some feedback. Oh, and it's multi-currency as well. That's it. That was a new addition I did on the way over. So it's not just a drop down. I'm going to prove this now. It's going to break. Just once. There we go. If we change to GBP, I haven't got any GBP orders. So there we go. It clearly works. Let me go back to you. But yeah, I'll be really interested to know what you guys think and what your feedback is and how you find it really, and what questions you want us to answer.